Alright guys, welcome to RC Mojo. This week we've got the follow-up after getting the hibernated project WPL C44KM up and running. We're going to tackle some rocky hills, some cruising and some inter-rut crawling. As for the truck, it behaved very well. For the first couple of minutes there was this little slightly alarming sound coming from the axles, but it didn't last long though, so it was most likely just a bit of chattering while the grease found its way around. It's not at all uncommon either. I always recommend driving trucks fairly slowly for a minute after a fresh build, RTR trucks too, just to make sure that wherever the grease is, it's going to get well spread around. As for performance, well, it could do with a bit more torque and or wheel speed. In first gear it's got plenty of grunt, but it just struggles a bit with the speed. And in second it's got the wheel speed, but it's a bit weak. Not by much, it could just do with a little bit more. Having said that, it's probably a bit more realistic than most RCs where there's so much power in reserve you can just blast through anything. It makes a nice change to not be able to nail it and just bounce your way over things. The suspension is of course not damped, we've just got springs. Surprisingly though, it's not all that bouncy. I think there's enough mass in the body that it never really gets a good bounce going. I was expecting to need some oil dampers for an upgrade to smooth it out, but I think it's doing just fine as it is. The steering is typical WPL with horrendous bump steer. It's good enough while crawling, you really don't notice, but when cruising, if you bump over a small rock, it causes the truck to dart off to one side. Also, depending on whether the body's leaning slightly to the left or slightly to the right, the steering trim's never going to be quite right. The truck has a panhard bar, so we should be able to come up with a linkage setup that does improve things. The tyres are of course extremely wobbly, but just the tyres though, the wheels run nice and straight. But despite the wobble, they do grip pretty well. They're extremely soft and so do a fairly good job. They do kind of make it look like something's broken though, which isn't so good. Right, so that's it for the talking. I might pop back at the end, but for now, I hope you enjoy the video. we go, one WPL C44KM tested. I think light's next, and we need to try and find some straight tyres. Anyway, until next time, that's about it. So as always, thanks for watching. Like if you liked, subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment if there's something on your mind. Bye guys.